Imagine this. In just 24 minutes, you can learn how to control your reality using the power of quantum manifestation. Sounds bold, right? But it's not magic, not luck, and not something reserved for a chosen few. It's a skill anyone can develop. Most people believe their lives are shaped by outside forces, jobs, money, relationships, economy, or news. They think reality is fixed and they can only react to it. But in the quantum view, reality is not fixed. It's flexible, alive, and constantly responding to your inner frequency. Think of yourself as both a transmitter and a receiver. Every thought, emotion, and belief you carry is a frequency you send into the quantum field. And here's the truth: the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. That's why many people struggle. They try to force reality forward, pushing hard to make things happen. But that only creates resistance. It's like yelling at the radio to play a new song without changing the station. Unless you tune in to the right frequency, the music never changes. So why isn't everyone doing this if it's so simple? Because we've been trained to see life only in physical terms. Cause and effect, step-by-step plans, logical timelines. But in the quantum world, results come after the shift, not before. You must think as if, feel as if, and align as if your desire is already real. Only then will the outside world mirror your inner state. This isn't just an idea, it's backed by science. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect shows that particles change when observed. Your awareness is not passive, it's creative. The way you look at your reality actually shapes it. When your thoughts, emotions, and body are aligned, they send a powerful, coherent signal into the quantum field. That signal organizes probability into a single outcome, the one that matches your vibration. The moment you live as the version of yourself who already has what you desire, you begin pulling that version into your reality. But here's the paradox. Most people try to create abundance while still living in the vibration of lack. They visualize while doubting. They affirm while secretly expecting failure. The field doesn't listen to words, it responds to vibration. And vibration never lies. So today, I invite you into a new way of living. Not by pushing harder, but by aligning deeper. Stay with me, because this is the shift you've been waiting for. And it starts right now. From the moment you were born, you were taught to see reality in one way, that the outside world controls how you feel inside. You learn to measure life only by what you can see, touch, and explain logically. You were trained to wait for external changes before allowing yourself to feel different within. But in the quantum view of reality, it's the opposite. The cause is internal, and the effect is what you see in the physical world. This means the sequence you've been living by your whole life has been reversed. And as long as you live this way, you'll keep repeating the same cycles, just with new faces, new places, and new events. Here's the problem. Living from the outside in locks you into a reactive frequency. Imagine this. One morning, you check your bank account and see less money than you hoped for. Instantly, your nervous system moves into stress. You feel lack. And that feeling is not neutral. It's a broadcast to the quantum field that says, "This is my reality." And the field doesn't argue, it mirrors you. It echoes back more situations that confirm your lack. You believe you are reacting to reality, but in truth, you are reinforcing it. That's why the phrase, "I'll believe it when I see it," is dangerous. In the quantum model of manifestation, you only see it after you believe it. The feeling itself is the evidence in advance. Science supports this. In neuroplasticity, every time you repeat certain thoughts and emotions, you strengthen those neural pathways. Over time, that state becomes your baseline, and your baseline is exactly what the field reflects back to you. Think of it this way. Your life today is the result of the frequency you held yesterday, last week, last month. And the reality you'll live tomorrow, next week, or next year is being created right now. This is not just philosophy, it's physics. The field is responding instantly. The only delay is in the physical manifestation. This is why most people get stuck. They try to change their outer world without shifting their inner state. They push harder, hustle more, take endless action. And when nothing changes, they feel powerless. But the truth is, action without alignment is wasted effort. It's like rowing against the current. You exhaust yourself, but stay in the same place. When you first align your inner state, action becomes effortless. The current begins to carry you. Opportunities appear. Ideas flow. People and resources connect naturally. This is not luck, it's coherence in motion. So here's your challenge. The next time something negative happens, don't let it dictate your state. Choose your state first. Anchor it so fully that the external world has no choice but to shift. That is how you stop playing the old game of cause and effect and start mastering the quantum game of cause through effect. And in the next part, I'll show you how to train your energy to do this on command, so you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. To truly control your reality, you must understand this. Your inner state is not just in your head. It's an electromagnetic broadcast, a real signal that interacts with the quantum field. Science has proven that your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, and your brain's electrical activity is in constant communication with it. When your heart and mind are aligned, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, they emit a coherent frequency. And coherence is power. In physics, coherence means order. It's when every part of a system moves in harmony, amplifying the signal. Think of laser light. Its waves are perfectly aligned, which allows the beam to travel long distances without losing strength. Your consciousness works the same way. When you are coherent, your signal becomes clear, strong, and impossible to ignore. But here's the problem. Most people live in incoherence without realizing it. They think about abundance, but feel fear. They speak gratitude, but secretly carry resentment. They visualize love, but expect rejection. This split creates a distorted signal, like trying to send GPS coordinates while your location keeps changing. The field doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your dominant frequency. And what determines your dominant frequency? Not your thoughts alone, your emotions. Because emotions are faster, stronger, and more powerful than thoughts when broadcasting into the field. Neuroscience confirms this. Your limbic system, the emotional center of your brain, can override logical thinking in milliseconds. Which means, if you think about wealth but feel lack, the feeling always wins. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. If you want to shift your reality, you must change the emotional signature you are broadcasting, not just the pictures in your mind. In quantum theory, every system exists in multiple possible states until it is observed. But observation is not just about looking, it's energetic. The field responds to the energy of the observer. When your inner state is scattered, you are observing multiple conflicting realities at once. This keeps you stuck in delay and uncertainty. But when your mind, emotions, and body align, you collapse probabilities into one reality, the one that matches your coherence. This is not magic, it's measurement. Spiritual traditions have always taught this through prayer, meditation, surrender, and presence. These practices quiet the noise, focus intention, and bring you into alignment. In modern terms, they are simply tools for coherence. And when you're coherent, the universe doesn't need convincing, it simply mirrors your state. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you want 98.5 FM, you don't set the dial to 92.3 and hope the music changes. You align exactly with the frequency. The quantum field works the same way. If you want abundance, you cannot stay tuned to scarcity. Once you consistently hold the right vibration, physical reality has no choice but to reflect it. And here's the beauty. You already have the tools within you. Your breath regulates your nervous system. Your focus directs your energy. Your imagination creates the blueprint. And your choices, moment by moment, keep you tuned into the frequency that shapes your world. In the next part, I'll share the exact method to practice this alignment daily, so that controlling your reality isn't something you try to do, but simply something you are. If you want to control your reality with precision, you must train your frequency the same way an athlete trains their body. Not through force, but through consistent alignment. Reality doesn't change by doing more or pushing harder. It shifts when you hold a stable, coherent signal that the quantum field can lock onto without interference. So how do you do this? Here's a clear step-by-step method you can practice daily. Step 1. Begin with the body, not the mind. The biggest mistake people make is trying to change their reality while their body is still stuck in the chemistry of the old one. Your nervous system stores emotional states like a memory bank. If you've been living in stress, doubt, or frustration, those chemical patterns have become your default frequency. And you cannot broadcast abundance from a stressed body. It's like trying to send a clear signal through a broken antenna. So before you think of what you want, calm your body. Breathe deeply. In through the nose for 5 counts, out through the mouth for 7 counts. This tells your nervous system that you're safe, lowering stress hormones and shifting you into a receptive state. Step 2. Access the end state now. Once your body is calm, close your eyes and move directly into the feeling of already having what you want. Skip the how. Don't worry about the path. Your only job is to lock into the destination. If it's financial freedom, feel the relief and expansion in your chest. If it's love, feel the warmth of connection. Neuroscience shows that the brain doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. It activates the same neural pathways. Every time you rehearse this end state, you program your body to live in that reality. Step 3. Command and release. This is where most people get stuck. They think they need to repeat affirmations endlessly. But in quantum manifestation, repetition often signals doubt. A pure, coherent command needs no repetition. Once you feel the end state fully, say within yourself, "It is done," then release it. Trust that the field has already received the signal. The difference between wishing and creating is this inner knowing. Step 4. Watch for micro shifts. The universe doesn't always respond in big, dramatic moments. Often it begins with small alignments, a new idea, a chance encounter, an unexpected resource. Don't miss them because you're scanning for proof in one fixed form. Allow the field to surprise you. When you let it be easy, infinite pathways open up, usually in ways you never imagined. Now, I want you to take part in this shift. Declare it with certainty, "I am in control of my reality." Don't type it like a simple quote, feel it. Imagine that the moment you say it, the quantum field receives your vibration and begins reshaping probabilities around you. In the next part, I'll reveal why most people unintentionally sabotage their alignment and how you can avoid these traps so your signal stays pure long enough for reality to fully transform in your favor. By now, you understand that controlling your reality is not about force, it's about coherence. But here's the challenge. Even when people learn this, many unknowingly sabotage their own alignment. It's not because they're doing everything wrong, but because of subtle habits that leak energy. I call them the silent saboteurs, patterns so familiar that you don't even notice them until you know what to look for. Let's uncover them one by one. Saboteur number 1, the frequency check. You set an intention in the morning, but spend the rest of the day checking if it's working. You refresh emails, scan messages, and wonder, is it here yet? But every time you do this, you're not broadcasting trust, you're broadcasting doubt. In quantum mechanics, observation collapses possibility into reality. But if your observation is loaded with suspicion, you collapse into the wrong timeline, the one where you're still waiting. Remember, trust doesn't check, trust knows. Saboteur number 2, emotional re-entry into the old reality. Your frequency is like GPS. Every time you react emotionally like your old self, getting angry in traffic, stressed about money, or frustrated at delays, you send the universe your old coordinates. And the field matches you with that reality again. This doesn't mean you must be perfect or emotionless. It simply means notice when you slip back and choose again quickly. Saboteur number 3, overdoing in the name of effort. There's a fine line between inspired action and desperate action. Inspired action feels light, natural, almost effortless. Desperate action feels heavy, forced, and fueled by fear. In the quantum field, desperation scrambles your signal. If your body is tense and your mind is overthinking, you're not aligned, you're in survival mode. And survival doesn't attract, it repels. Saboteur number 4, the story loop. Humans are storytellers, but we often tell limiting stories. Things never work out for me. People like me don't get lucky breaks. Every time you repeat such a story, even casually, you're rehearsing that frequency. The field doesn't hear your words, it feels your vibration. Change your story, and you change your signal. Saboteur number 5, treating manifestation like a to-do list. This is a subtle trap. You meditate, visualize, set intentions, but you do it with the same mindset you use to pay bills or solve problems. You're operating in a beta brainwave of problem solving instead of the alpha theta state of creation. In this mode, you're telling the field, there's still a problem. But true manifestation requires surrender into the creative state, where the subconscious is most open. Here's the truth. You remove these saboteurs not by adding more effort, but by simplifying your signal. The less energy you waste on old patterns, the faster your new reality stabilizes. Think of it like this. The version of you who already lives your desired reality is not trying to hold it together. They're not checking constantly, not spiraling when something small goes wrong, not overdoing, not repeating old stories. They simply wake up each day already in the frequency they've chosen, and the field takes care of the rest. The moment you start being that version now, not someday, the shift happens. The quantum field no longer sees you as becoming, it sees you as being. And the moment you are being, there's nothing left to wait for. In the final part, we'll lock this in with a quantum activation you can use daily, so this isn't just something you try for a moment, but a way of living for life. By now, you haven't just heard about quantum manifestation, you felt it. Somewhere inside, there's a quiet recognition. This is how reality actually works. Not through endless hustle, not through blind luck, but through frequency and alignment. Here's the truth. Right now, you are sitting in the middle of the quantum field. Infinite timelines, infinite versions of you, all existing at once. You are not moving toward your desired reality, you are selecting it. And the moment your inner state fully matches that reality, not just during meditation, but as your natural baseline, the shift is instant. The delay you feel is only the time it takes for your senses to catch up with what the field has already confirmed. So here's your quantum activation. For the next 24 hours, live as if you have nothing left to manifest. Let that idea sink in deeply. Don't check, don't wonder, don't bargain. Just live as the version of you who already has everything. Order coffee like them. Walk like them. Answer messages like them. Spend money like them. Breathe like them. This is not pretending. In quantum physics, embodiment is what collapses possibility into reality. Embodiment doesn't ask, when will it happen? It knows it has already happened. When you do this, something powerful occurs. The pressure drops, the noise in your mind quiets. And in that space, the field finally has room to respond. That's the paradox. The less you push, the faster it flows. Remember this, the universe doesn't speak the language of effort, it speaks the language of coherence. And if you feel the pull to stabilize this frequency, not just for today, but as a permanent way of living, there are deeper practices you can follow. But the most important truth is this: you didn't arrive here by accident. There is already a version of you living the reality you desire. That version is calling you forward. All you need to do is answer, not with more effort, but with more being. So stop measuring how far you still have to go. Start measuring how fully you can embody who you already are. Because the moment you embody it, the field confirms, match complete. And from that moment on, there's nothing left to wait for.